Before Wilt Chamberlain started to dominate the league in the 1960s, there was another Philadelphia Warrior who did the same in the 1950s. He wasn't flashy, jaw-dropping, he wasn't towering over the league as well. Instead, as the Philadelphia Inquirer described him, he was lantern-jawed and awkward appearing. The truth was, it was a forgettable time in the league, and in a way, we have forgotten about this player. Hey guys, Purple Prince here, and today you're back in the history class with me, as we're taking a look at another Hall of Famer you might not know about, Neil Johnston. Neil Johnston was born on February 4th, 1929 in Chillicothe, Ohio. His high school days were spent in Chillicothe High School, where he was an all-state performer as a senior. His dad, however, as Neil Johnston said himself, would rather see him play one Major League Baseball game than 50 NBA games. So during his college days in Ohio State, he was participating in two sports, baseball and basketball. Baseball was more important to him, and that's why his college stats in basketball for a player who later turned out to be a Hall of Famer in basketball are quite miserable. In his senior year, Neil Johnston played in 20 games, made 3.4 of his 11 field goals, and averaged only 9 points. Right out of college, Johnston signed a professional baseball contract with the Philadelphia Phillies, and for 2.5 years pitched for the Terre Haute Philly of the 3I League. He wasn't good. His fastball didn't have curve, and his baseball career wasn't going anywhere, so he decided to give pro basketball a try. In 1951, Johnston arranged a meeting with Warriors owner/coach Eddie Gottlieb. Gottlieb saw some promise in Johnston, and after a tryout, he was given a contract. He wasn't drafted, he wasn't really scouted, but here he was as a member of the Philadelphia Warriors. In his rookie season, he didn't play much, but in his time, he was good. For his rookie year, Neil Johnston averaged 6 points and 5.3 rebounds in only 15.5 minutes per game. And then, the unimaginable happened. You know how there's that Most Improved Player award in NBA now, and the player who shows the most improvement since last season wins it? Well, if there was an award of the most improved player ever in basketball, in universe or galaxy, Neil Johnston would win it hands down. After the 1951-52 season, Warriors star Paul Arizin, whom I also covered, so check that video as well, went off to the Marines. Warriors were in a desperate need of a new scoring power, a new star, and it was Neil Johnston. He went from playing 15.5 minutes per game to playing 45.2 minutes per game, which led the league, and his stats improved dramatically. He led the league in scoring with 22.3 points per game, shooting percentage with 45.2, grabbed 13.9 rebounds per game, and started to pass some ball as well. He was a star now. Johnston developed a hook shot that was his era's skyhook, a nearly unstoppable offensive weapon. In one season, he had become the most finest frontcourt scorer in the league, pretty much the best offensive weapon in the league. By that time, Neil Johnston was sure he made the right choice by picking basketball as his future. He led the league in scoring for 2 more years, claiming 3 scoring titles in a row. On the way, he grabbed 1 rebounding title and the highest field goal percentage as well. The problem with all of this, despite great numbers from Johnston, the Warriors were bad. They were missing their other star, Paul Arizin. Arizin finally returned for the 1954-55 season, and right away the Warriors started to improve. They finished 33-39 in Johnston's and Arizin's first season together, but the real dynamic duo showed up in the 1955-56 season. They had the best record in the league with 45 wins and 27 losses. Johnston had great playoffs, averaging 20.3 points and 14.3 rebounds, and Arizin was there, rookie Tom Gola was versatile, and power forward Joe Grabowski was good. Everything just came together and the Warriors won the NBA championship. Unfortunately for Johnston and the Warriors, and pretty much for the rest of the league, next season Bill Russell arrived, and the Boston Celtics dynasty began. And the Warriors started to slip. Neil Johnston was still very good, but the revolution of NBA centers was in full effect. His stats did not look as great anymore when you compare him to Bill Russell, who for his whole career averaged 22.5 rebounds per game. The game started to change, and Philadelphia had to change as well. Unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. During a 1958 preseason game in St. Louis, Neil Johnston injured a knee when he ran into a wall. Doctors predicted that he would be out for most of the season, and it came true. Johnston played in only 28 games that year, but most importantly, he wasn't the same. He wasn't effective anymore. He played just 14 minutes per game and averaged 6.3 points and 5 rebounds on 32.9% shooting. By season's end, at age 30, he had to retire. It was a bad timing, but it was a reality. Warriors drafted Guy Rodgers, Will Chamberlain, and the whole city of Philadelphia was left with a thought: what if they all could have played together? His playing career was over, but he was hired to coach the Warriors in what was Chamberlain's rookie season in 1958-59. For an unknown reason, the duo just didn't work. Chamberlain didn't have respect for Johnston as a coach, and Johnston didn't have patience for his superstar. Both separated in 1961 when Johnston quit the job. Unfortunately, 17 years later, at a young age of 49, Johnston, who at the time was serving as the athletic director at Northlake College in Irving, Texas, collapsed and died while playing basketball with his son Scott. 12 years later in 1990, Johnston was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Neil Johnston is a forgotten legend. It was a bad time to dominate the NBA. George Mikan and Minneapolis Lakers were fading off as he started to dominate, and he started to fade as Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain revolutionized the game. We know about those moments, but we forget the man that was in the middle of all of this: Neil Johnston. The finest, most dependable offensive weapon in mid-1950s NBA who had an unfairly short career and short life. Neil Johnston finished his NBA career with 516 games played, an average of 35.5 minutes per game, 19.4 points, 11.3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. A 3-time scoring champion, an NBA champion, a 6-time All-Star, and a 5-time All-NBA player. A player who was just as dominant as Joel Embiid in his time, but unfortunately lost somewhere amongst the dynasties and other big names in this game: Gabby Neil Johnston. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Can you tell me anything about Neil Johnston? Maybe there are some Philadelphia fans here who remember him. Do you think he deserves to be a Hall of Famer? And do you think he is an underrated legend? Whatever your thought is, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like this video for Neil Johnston and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for everything. This was Purple Prince, and I'm out.